If you've been wanting to level up your product photography, then this video right here is for you. This is actually about to be a segment from my latest Skillshare class talking all about lifestyle product photography and how to take images that brands are going to love. Now, this particular segment, we're talking all about how to light this particular lifestyle product photo. But if you would also like to learn how to actually generate the ideas for this, prepare, style, shoot the image, and retouch it, then make sure to check out the full class, which will be in the link in the description there. I'm not sponsored by Skillshare, but I am a top teacher on their platform and have a couple various courses, so be sure to check that out, especially if you like this segment up next. Now, without further ado, let's actually get lighting this image. Okay, so now we're actually going to light the image and work out how to bring everything together for the final product. Now, if you've watched any of my other past Skillshare courses, you would know I myself am a big fan of soft light, and I've shown you different ways that you can use a soft indirect light to create some beautiful images. Now, for this particular image, we're going to throw all of that out the window and do the complete opposite. For this, like we said earlier, we want that really sort of direct, harsh, beautiful sunlight coming through a window type of look. And actually, you can use a window to light an image like this. The only thing you might run into is that it might be inconsistent, especially if it is a partly cloudy day and the sun is going in and out of clouds or anything of that variety. It may not be the most consistent light, which is why I'm doing it in this type of studio environment. Now, we can see currently we have a light going on in the back corner. This is what has been lighting this area for the past couple segments here. And we can see that it gives a nice, beautiful, soft light on our product currently. It is currently angled into the ceiling, acting as a nice, soft bounce, giving a beautiful indirect light. Very soft, very flattering. But like I said, that's not what we're going for. So how can we change this up to make it a more dynamic shot that we're going for? Well, let's see. So currently we do have this pointing into the ceiling, but what I'm gonna wanna do is lower the stand all the way here. And then what I'm gonna do is rotate this so it is perfectly pointed right at our scene there, and you can see immediately that does change up the look of things quite a lot. But that is only the beginning, and we're gonna work out how we can actually play with this to make it a really dynamic image. And we can see there, based on the way we changed the light, it is looking quite harsh and like that direct sun look. The only thing is, it might be actually a little too harsh for my liking, and there's some things that we can do to change that up. Now, like I said earlier, we want this to look as if the sun is coming through a window or something like that. And we want those refracted light rays to really add a bit of pop to this image. And my favorite way to do that is take a bunch of glassware and put that in front of the light. And this is precisely why we are using a harsher light, because it will refract a lot more than if we just use something like a soft light. We won't get the same light bending effects, and it just won't have the same end result. So let's grab a couple glasses, some vases, put them in place, and see what we can do here. And for the record, these can be just about any type of glassware that you just have on hand. It doesn't need to be anything fancy, but the more you play around with it, the more different light rays you will get, and it'll look pretty cool. So right off the bat, we're gonna throw a vase in there, and we can spin it around, and immediately you see how the light coming through it bends and affects the overall image. We have a couple more that we're gonna add in so you can see the overall effect that we're gonna get out of this. Now we can see here how we're actually really starting to get that look that we're going for, but there's something that I want you to keep in mind with products like this. Currently you can see I have the bottle on the left and the little hydrating butter container on the right. Now I'm actually going to switch them, but I put them in this orientation to show you something that I noticed. on the actual logo of the butter container there, because it's facing away from the light, we're not getting anything on that logo itself, so it just kind of blends in with the rest of the pattern there. But if we swap them, you'll be able to see how that logo actually stands out. And if this were something for a brand or a company, you would obviously want that logo to stand out. So this is something that I'm actually going to shift around right now so you can see the difference that you get between the two. This is something that if it's for a brand or a company, you really want to make sure that logo comes out, because after all, it is their product and they want to show off not only the product itself, but also their logo. So we want to make sure that is front and center there. So let's swap that out and I'll show you what it looks like. And you'll notice there how looking for the light on that logo really does make a difference. Now, there is something I want to address here, which is the light that I'm using behind me. It is a fairly bright COB LED style light. Now, you don't need to use the same light that I am using. This is a fairly expensive studio video light, but you can get away with a lot of different types of lights for this type of look. If you have a speed light or anything of that variety that you can use off camera, or a flash studio strobe, anything of that variety will work very well for this type of image. Or like I said, you can also get away with a window and some direct sunlight. But also something to note is that this light is bare bulb on a 7-inch reflector, just going through and then modified by a couple of these pieces of glassware that we have going on here. So with that in mind, you could actually get away with one of those simple household light gooseneck style types of household lamps that you just have lying around. This is something that is pretty versatile and you can recreate with a large budget or no budget at all. Now for these images, I will also be sharing my camera settings just so you know what I am working with here, so that way you can maybe gauge a similar type of thing with your images yourself. I know some photographers like to see that, so I want to provide that to you. Additionally, I am shooting these images on the Canon 60, and this is actually being recorded via the Canon EOS R, just so that way you get the most video quality, so that way you get the best experience out of this course possible. And the Canon 60, although it is a bit of a older camera, still gives fantastic image quality and is something that I used for many years as my main primary photography camera. And now that I have the EOS R, has turned into a bit of a backup camera, but it still produces amazing images and will work fantastically for not only this course, but also if you were to use as a main camera for any client photo shoots or anything of that variety that you may have on the go. Now for this, I also do have a couple lights currently lighting me, but when we go to take this actual photo, I am going to turn them off so that way there's no light interfering with the actual shot. And this is something that you may want to keep in mind as well. If you are using something like a household lamp, it will be a little dimmer of an actual light compared to what I have going on here. And because of that, you will want to use a tripod so that way you don't have any camera shake, especially if you need to open up your shutter speed, if you need to slow that down to let more light in. Remember that the slower the shutter speed, the more blur you're going to get, but also the more light you're going to allow into the camera. So with that, if you have that locked off on a tripod, then you'll be able to open up that shutter speed a bit, and you don't have to worry about the blur because it's on a tripod and you're going to be taken care of. So I'm going to turn these lights off, and also a friendly reminder that when you have your studio set up like this, or if you're using a window, household lamp, anything of that variety, make sure to turn off all the other lights that you have around, because they will interfere with the light that you have going on in your photo. And we'll see how this looks. I might need to add in a second light or maybe some fill, but I'm going to try to get away with just this light, and maybe if we need to, adding in a white bounce card, because there are some pretty harsh shadows going on in this scene. so that way we will be able to mitigate those and lift those a little bit so it's not quite as harsh and dramatic of an image. But we'll actually see what this looks like first, and then we'll cross that bridge if we get to it. All right, so let's get behind the camera and actually look how this shot is going. So I really hope you enjoyed that little segment there. If you liked that, be sure to check out the rest of the Skillshare class and my other classes. Link in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. Work hard, rest often, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.